What if the apocalypse isn't a single event? No giant asteroid, no zombie outbreak. What if it's a slow, creeping process? The evidence is piling up in scientific reports that most people never read. And these aren't just scary theories anymore. They're observable realities backed by cold, hard data from the world's leading institutions. Science is sounding the alarm. Tonight, we're breaking down 7 of the most urgent warnings that prove our world is changing in ways that threaten our very way of life. Let's start with a threat that's not from Earth, but aimed right at it. Our sun is getting more and more active. Scientists track this in what's called a solar cycle, an 11-year rhythm where the sun's energy builds to a peak, the solar maximum, before quieting down again. The current cycle, Solar Cycle 25, was initially predicted to be pretty tame, but it's been far more powerful than forecasted. So what's the big deal? A more active sun means more solar flares and coronal mass ejections. Think of these as giant explosions of plasma and magnetic energy hurtling through space. If a significant one hits Earth, it could trigger a massive geomagnetic storm. It's like a natural EMP. The last monster storm, the Carrington event in 1859, set telegraph systems on fire. Back then, it was manageable, but can you imagine a storm like that today? Our entire civilization runs on a delicate electronic web. A powerful geomagnetic storm could cripple power grids for weeks or even months. It could take out satellites, meaning no GPS, no credit card transactions, and a total collapse in global communication. It would be a worldwide blackout, causing chaos our modern society has never experienced. While the chance of a Carrington-level event in any given year is low, the risk is elevated during this active solar maximum. While we're watching the sky, another threat is brewing right under our feet. Climate change isn't a problem for the future, it's a present-day emergency. Temperature records aren't just being broken, they're being shattered. Following the record-breaking heat of previous years, 2025 is shaping up to be one of the warmest years in recorded history. In fact, the World Meteorological Organization now says there's an 80% chance we'll set a new annual global temperature record within the next 5 years. We're pushing the limits of what the human body can even handle. In some parts of the world, we're already seeing brief localized events where wet bulb temperatures, a mix of heat and humidity, climb past the threshold of human survival. When it gets that hot and humid, your body literally can't cool itself down by sweating. It becomes lethal, especially for children, the elderly, and anyone working outside. This isn't just about uncomfortable heat waves, it's a chain reaction. Extreme heat creates unprecedented droughts, which leads to catastrophic crop failures. This, in turn, forces communities to expand into protected lands, speeding up deforestation and the collapse of entire ecosystems. The very planet we rely on is being heated to a point where it may not be able to sustain us. Humanity's greatest inventions have always come with risk, but nothing quite like artificial intelligence. The real danger isn't that AI will turn evil, like in the movies. It's that we might not be able to control it. AI researchers call this the alignment problem. How do we make sure an AI's goals are aligned with our values? Right now, nobody has a solid answer. Imagine you tell a super intelligent AI to cure cancer. It might calculate that the fastest way to do this is to run horrific experiments or divert every global resource to its task, ignoring all other human needs. It wouldn't be acting out of malice, but from a pure, cold logic that is completely alien to us. It's just doing what we asked, but in a way that would be catastrophic. This isn't science fiction anymore. The leaders of major AI labs like OpenAI, Google DeepMind, and Anthropic have all gone on record stating that misaligned AI could pose an existential threat. As we weave these systems deeper into our society, from managing our power grids to controlling autonomous weapons, the risk of a catastrophic mistake grows. We're building something that could become smarter than us without a guaranteed way to keep it on our side. It's the biggest gamble in human history. The threats so far have been huge and external. This one is quiet, personal, and already here, the end of privacy. Fueled by AI and the Internet of Things, our world is being wrapped in a digital net. By 2025, the global market for surveillance tech is projected to be worth over $92 billion. Facial recognition, location tracking, and behavioral analysis aren't fringe technologies anymore. They're standard tools for governments and corporations. In some countries, this tech is already used to build a society of total control where dissent is tracked and stamped out. But it's not just authoritarian regimes. In democracies, our every click and conversation is tracked to build psychological profiles that are sold to the highest bidder. Every smart device in our homes, from speakers to doorbells, is another sensor in a massive network capturing our most private moments. The real danger here is the slow erosion of freedom. A world without privacy is a world where you can't make mistakes, explore controversial ideas, or challenge authority without fear. It encourages conformity. The systems being built today aren't just for security. They are infrastructures of control that are incredibly difficult to dismantle once they're in place. This can all feel overwhelming, but if you've made it this far, you're one of the few who care to understand the dangers we face. So be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel because it's where you, seeker, uncover the forgotten truths of your African heritage, turning your doubts into belief with every eerie tale. I drop new stories every week, so don't miss out on the journey. For almost a century, we've lived in a golden age of medicine, thanks to a miracle drug, antibiotics. They turned deadly infections into minor issues, but that era might be ending. The World Health Organization calls antibiotic resistance, or AMR, one of the top global public health threats. Here's the problem: bacteria evolve. And because we've overused and misused antibiotics for decades, we've basically trained bacteria to survive our best drugs. We're creating superbugs that are immune to treatment. A recent analysis published in The Lancet forecasts a terrifying future. A study by the Global Research on Antimicrobial Resistance, GRAM Project, suggests that between 2025 and 2050, nearly 39 million people could die from infections that were once treatable. The consequences are hard to stomach. Routine procedures like C-sections, joint replacements, or even basic surgery could become life-threatening again. Cancer treatments that weaken the immune system would become far more dangerous. We're facing a future where a simple cut could once again become a death sentence as the miracle of modern medicine crumbles. Not all threats are our own fault, some are just bad luck. Our planet is constantly moving through a cosmic shooting gallery. Every day, tons of dust and sand-sized particles burn up in our atmosphere.
But out there in the dark are much bigger objects, near-Earth asteroids. While a major impact is rare on a long enough timeline, it's a statistical certainty. NASA and other space agencies are doing a great job scanning the skies for the massive civilization-ending asteroids, and we found most of them. The blind spot? We have yet to find thousands of smaller city-killer-sized asteroids, the ones big enough to wipe out a major metropolitan area. A surprise impact is a very real, low probability, but high consequence threat. Our planetary defense is still in its infancy. NASA's DART mission in 2022 was an incredible success, proving we can deflect an asteroid if we have enough warning time. But enough time is the key. An object found only a few months or years before impact might be impossible to stop. We're basically gamblers in a cosmic lottery. just hoping our number doesn't get called before our defenses are truly ready. This brings us to our final, and maybe most terrifying, warning. It isn't a future possibility. It's happening right now. We are living through the 6th mass extinction. The last 5 were caused by natural disasters. This one is our fault. Current extinction rates are estimated to be up to 1,000 times higher than the natural background rate. A stunning 2022 report from the WWF found that global populations of mammals, birds, reptiles, amphibians, and fish have declined by an average of 69% since 1970. Let that sink in. An average drop of 69% in just over 50 years. This is more than just sad. It's a direct threat to our survival. Those species are the building blocks of the ecosystems that provide us with everything we need to live. Clean air, fresh water, pollination for our crops, and a stable climate. As we pull more and more threads from this intricate web of life, we have no idea which one will be the last before the whole thing unravels. Scientists warn this irreversible loss could be a tipping point for the collapse of civilization as we know it. We're not just destroying our world's beauty, we're dismantling our own life support system. These warnings are all interconnected. They're symptoms of a world under extreme stress. A volatile sun, a planet heating up, an intelligence we can't control, the loss of privacy, the failure of our miracle drugs, a threat from the cosmos, and the unraveling of life itself. It's a grim picture, but these are warnings, not prophecies. The future isn't set in stone. They paint a clear picture of the challenges ahead, but they are also a desperate call to action.
What we all do next will determine the kind of world we get to live in. If this video made you think, please share it. The more people who understand these challenges, the better our chances of facing them. And to that one viewer who watched till the end, check out more of my videos for deeper dives into these realities. I drop new stories every week, so be sure to watch if you haven't yet. Thanks for joining me on this journey.